Hey everybody, welcome to our breaks this evening. Today is October the 24th. I am on very early. I don't think our first break's not scheduled for another 30 minutes, but I wanted to, since I was going to the trouble of streaming today, I wanted to come on early. I was going to film a little segment that I was going to post on the channel called What Did I Buy at My LCS Today? And as you can see, I've got a little white bag here. There are not donuts in the bag, although honestly I might prefer that at this point. But some packs of cards and actually a couple random insert sets that I stumbled upon while I was making my weekly visit to my local card shop. So I thought I would do that for a little bit, get kind of warmed up, make sure the lighting's good and the sound's good. Hopefully you all can hear me okay. I don't even know what setting my microphone's on for my last Zoom call yesterday, but I'm assuming if we get too far along through here, no one can hear me. Someone will put it in the chat. But let's go ahead and get started and see what's in my bag. See what kind of random trinkets I bought at the card shop today. I'm just going to put the big stack there. Looks like a lot of fun. Let's see how much it was. It was $22.97. So pretty reasonable for a big stack of stuff in today's cardboard economy. I would say that I feel like I got pretty good value. Of course, I will say when I shop for myself, I tend to be pretty cheap. So I've got some sets and I have some random packs. So let's go through the sets first. So I bought this 1992 Upper Deck. Whoa, my focus is terrible. Let's clean that up real quick. Goodness gracious. If I can get my webcam software to open up for me. It's being a little finicky. There we go. Okay. Let's get that clear. There we go. Okay. So you can see this is I believe this is a 20 card set, and this was issued in 1992 baseball, and I want to say these were in jumbo packs. This was not part of the regular hobby config, the Ted Williams best hitters in the game set, but they're 20 cards. It's a 20 card set, and as you can see on the price tag, it's priced $5. Well, they had this little section of little sets like this, and it said if you bought 2 or more, they were half off. So they had a couple of others that kind of piqued my attention. I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy 3 of them. So this 20 card set was $2.50, which I consider to be a steal. So let's take a look at it. I didn't even take them out of the case. I hope they're not, they look like they're in pretty good shape. Some of them are a little miscut, meaning they're a little bigger than others, which was probably a little, corners are not gem. I'm not going to send these in for grading, but that's okay. Because again, they're black border glossy sets that are 28 years old. So you have to be a little realistic. And I paid $2.50 for the set. So there's Boggs. Nice little card. I should have looked up and made sure what config they're in. I'm pretty sure they were jumbos though. And I think they were retail jumbos, which there wasn't much difference between the two, but there was some. Or they may have been magazine jumbos. Little Barry Bonds. Pre-enhancement when he was a thinner man, I'll put it that way. Canseco, not too bad. Nice little checklist in this set, although I think it thins out as we get further along in the checklist. Will the Thrill, not too shabby there. I kind of like sleeving these as I go. Cecil Fielder. So I paid like 12.5 cents a card. So I feel decent about that. Not the worst money I've ever spent in my life. Tony Gwynn, utter greatness without question. Little Ricky. So you can see that the checklist is pretty superstar laden. A lot of big names. Crime Dog, incredibly underrated. Kirby Puckett. Not too shabby there. Let's see. Ruben Sierra. Did not have a lot of long periods of greatness in his career, but certainly had flashes of it. Roberto Alomar. And again, this is from the best hitters of the future. A very young Jeff Bagwell, a year after his rookie card. Albert Bell. Long gone. Griffey. Chris Hoiles, probably the weakest name on the checklist. No offense to any Chris Hoiles fans out there. David Justice. Now we're getting into what were some of the younger players at the time. Phil Plantier, still much hyped at this point. Frank Thomas, he turned out to be pretty awesome. Great picture, you can see the bat flexing there. Certainly a hallmark of earlier Upper Deck releases was the fantastic photography, without question. So yeah, there's my Ted Williams hitter set. Not too shabby for $250. That was my first set purchase. Put this over here. My next one, 1992 Upper Deck again, the Ted Williams Baseball Hero set. Let's see, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 10 cards in a checklist. And again, it was $2.50. So quarter piece. I feel pretty good about that purchase. So these were randomly inserted in low number 1992 baseball, the initials, the first series. The high numbers had Bench and Morgan, but the really great thing about these even today is that Ted Williams signed 2,500 of these cards, and they were randomly inserted in packs. And you may say, well, 2,500, that's a pretty huge number. But you have to consider the number of cases and packs that were printed and distributed back in 1992. I dare say there were probably 1 per 50 to 100 cases. But if you pulled one of those cards today, that would be pretty fantastic. Obviously, Ted's been passed for quite a few years now, and his autograph is in high demand and pretty high priced. And these cards that he signed look fantastic. They look great though. Very nice, nice photography. In today's age where you see the same picture used over and over and over of retired players, even, you know, years and years ago, this was something that was nice. And as people tend to go back to earlier times when they collected, these are things that people kind of like. There's him and his Hall of Fame plaque from '66. I don't know if I've ever seen this picture again on a card, or a Hall of Fame picture like this on one of his cards. Pretty unique. But this was the card that he signed, was the art card, and of course the art's by Vernon Wells, father of former major leaguer Vernon Wells. But again, quarter card, not too shabby. Pretty happy with that purchase. And then the checklist card. Or no, not the checklist, it's the cover card. Which you were always bummed to pull this in the pack, because it was just the cover card. It wasn't actually worth anything per se. So I thought that was a nice little set. I haven't seen that in years. I'm sure I've owned thousands of those cards at various times. So I also bought the 93 Willie Mays Baseball Heroes set, which I believe was in Series 1, if I'm not mistaken. Now, these are UV coated. This is when Upper Deck in 93 baseball, 93 football, and 93-94 basketball went from a common C2S stock to a glossy stock. But again, nice little 10-card set, and it's Willie Mays, and they're a quarter a piece. How can you go wrong there? I have a hard time not buying something like that just on general principle, for no other reason. Kind of a grainy photo of the catch. Oops. The photography on this, not quite as good as the other previous Heroes cards. Not sure why that was. Get out some more sleeves here. Hey David, how are you doing? I'm just going through all the stuff that I bought at the card shop today. Getting warmed up. Looks like we got about 19 minutes before we start, so I've got plenty of time. There he is with his second NL MVP award. Hey Keith, long time no see. Hadn't seen you in a while. And then here he is hitting his 600th home run against the Mets. Then with his Hall of Fame plaque. And of course his cover, the checklist card, which is the art card. I believe he signed these, but honestly I'm not positive. I should know though. You would think he did. They wouldn't have done the set if he hadn't. It's good to see you, Keith. I didn't know if maybe you were swept up in all of this evening college football, which again, nothing wrong with that. And then there's the JIP cover card. So those are the sets that I bought at half off at the shop today. So now on to my illustrious selection of packs. Now, of course, anybody that's watched this for any amount of time knows that I love to open 1992 Ultra Baseball, and I'm out of it right now because I've been buying a bunch of Upper Deck stuff, but I'm out of packs, and I saw this and I thought, well, I'll buy a pack. It's like $1.25. These are a smidge bricked, nothing terrible. Hey, fantastic, David. I hope you all have a great time. I hate that we won't see you later tonight, but at least it sounds like you've got an awesome reason for not being with us. Tony Fernandez as a Padre, mildly offensive. Dickie Schofield, the greatness, Cal Ripken Jr. Got to sleeve that just because. Well, these are a little bricked. I want to flex them. Well, alrighty, David. Hope you both have an awesome time. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Or hopefully we won't, if you get my meaning. Maybe everything will go great tonight and we won't see you next week. Bobby Kelly. Teddy Higuera, very underrated. Rob Deere. He is the baseball version of Checkers or Wreckers. Greg Hibbard. Chris Hoyles. Joe Hesketh. Reggie Jefferson. Mike McFarland. Oh, look at that. Matt Williams. Gold Glove Award winner. Nice little insert. And then Chuck Knobloch. Awesome. Not too bad there. Not too bad. Next pack is I bought 92 Upper Deck Football Series 2. Now these are the high numbers. No big rookies in here, I don't think. Klingler was the big draw in Series 1. The reason I bought the Series 2 pack, though, in the Series 1 pack, Walter Payton was the football hero subject, where he signed like 2,500 cards and he had inserts. In Series 2, it was Marino. Now, obviously, Payton's probably the more desirable autograph, unfortunately, because he's been passed for many, many years now. But still, I always like that. So when you get packages from me and you get packs of stuff like this, it's usually because of those hero sets. Because I always hope that at some point somebody I send one of those to will pull an autograph. And then how great would that be? It is $1 a pack, so again, I'm willing to take the risk. Excuse me. So, 92 Upper Deck football high numbers. And this is a mix of low numbers and high numbers, actually. Or maybe it's just high numbers. I thought it was a mix. I get mixed up. Sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. Let's see if we've got anything low numbered in here. I don't think we do. I guess they're all high numbers because everything's over 400. Yep. But like in baseball, like for 91, it's a mix. Now in 92, I guess they got to where they didn't do that. Like in 89, 90, and 91 baseball, the high numbers had some low numbers in them. And then in 91, 92 basketball, those high numbers also had low numbers in them as well. But then in 92, I think they got to where they just did, if it was a high number pack, it only had high numbers. Not a lot of star content, although there's Junior Seau. Checklist. Mark Rippon, NFL scrapbook. Not a lot there. Just something for fun. Again, that's kind of why I'm partial to the early 90s Upper Deck stuff. And again, here's the, well shoot, I answered my own question. I thought they were in jumbos. But I guess it's the high series. Look for Ted Williams Best Hitters insert cards. So that's where that set came from. High series. I thought it was the jumbos. I apologize. In my defense, it was 28 years ago, and a lot's happened since then. But you can also find the Bench and Morgan, which are the Heroes cards. Hey, Woody. And these cards are every which way. Mike Jackson, Derek Bell, Frank Thomas, Billy Spire, Fairies, McFarland, El Cid, Mark Carrion, Damon Berryhill, Randy Myers, Calvin Jones, Best Outfield Arm, Andy Van Slyke, and Dirtiest Uniform, Bill Kruger, oh, Sammy Sosa, and last card in the pack, Kurt Manwaring, catcher for the Giants. So, aside from all of the Upper Deck stuff, I also picked up some Donruss Racing packs. Just because. So I'm going to put these in chronological order. There's 20, 19, and 17. Really, I just did this because I wanted some UV coated cards to make sure that the lights were set up right. And I like to open racing occasionally. Let's see, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch. Then we have a speed insert, Ryan Newman. Then a top tier insert, Kevin Harvick. Let's see here, Kevin Harvick's car, Chris Buechler, oh, Chase Elliott, pictures of his car with different paint schemes, and then Paul Menard, coincidentally sponsored by Menards, the company that his father owns. So what'd you find, Woody? What'd you find out in the great wilds of brick and mortar stores? So this is my 19 pack of Bonus Racing. Got something shiny in the back. I take that as a good sign. Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Clint Boyer, the 1986 Retro Design card, Junior, the dreaded and feared Counter Detection card, Kevin Harvick Gray Parallel, just a gray parallel, no press priest designation, serial number, anything fun like that. We have a Austin Dillon top tier. Ooh, look at that. A little optic hollow. Not too shabby. Really, I had no idea, David. Kurt Manwaring at Coastal Carolina. Didn't have the faintest clue. That was quite a while ago. He had a pretty nice little career, too. I want to say he was in the majors 5 or 6 years. So how about that? At the end of the pack, a little Kevin Harvick Optic Silver. It's got to be worth like $1 trillion. Maybe I should send it into PSA and get it graded. Just kidding. It's cool, though. I do like in the racing how they put the optic in the packs. I think that adds a lot of value, which obviously NASCAR needs because it's much tougher sell than football or basketball, just because. I'm not saying that in the bad way, it's just how things are. That's pretty cool. Little hollow Harvick. Not too shabby there. I would think that's like a $5 or $10 card maybe. So here's my 2020 Donruss pack. Let's see what we get out of it. First card, Harvick's car. The illustrious and ageless Morgan Shepherd. I love that they put him in this set. Guy's still, I think he's still running Busch races, or Xfinity, whatever they call it. I call it Busch, but it's Xfinity. Hey, David, how are you doing this evening? That's fantastic. This guy's 78 years old, still driving. Like he was old when I was a kid. Seriously, like he was in his upper 40s when I was watching NASCAR in the 80s. Still driving. Eric Jones, little 1987 retro design. Greg Biffle, not sure why they're still putting him in sets. He's been retired for quite some time. And then we have a optic John Hunter Nemechek, son of Front Row Joe Nemechek. Nice little optic card there. Again, love the optic. Race Kings, again with the 87 retro design with Brad Keselowski. And then Corey LaJoie and Chase Briscoe, who I guess is supposed to be in Clint. Is he taking over Clint Boyer's seat with Stuart Haas? I think he is. All right, not too bad. Nice little pack there. Like the optic. I wonder if those are one per pack. Good gracious, the inserts and all the sets on the back of this wrapper. About make somebody blind. Maybe I'll just email one of them and ask them. Well, all right. So that is what I bought at my LCS today. So thanks for indulging me on that. I just wanted to film that.